Good afternoon and a warm welcome to you on behalf of APAC News Network. Just very briefly, APAC News Network, we are a media organization headquartered out of Noida, and primarily we focus on government, healthcare, education, enterprise IT, and BFSI. And through a 360-degree outreach program through print, online, video, and increasingly also through different events. So primarily, what the best way to start would be two things. One, if you can trace the genesis of Umbrella Infocare a little bit in terms of the founding and a little behind this, briefly the story behind that. And after that, the second question would be if you can update us on the portfolio of solutions and services that are offered for the Indian market, and we will take up specific areas after that.
Yeah, thank you, APAC. Very good afternoon. So yes, it's good way to start. So Umbrella Infocare was started by Gurpreet and myself. Before Umbrella Infocare, we were running another company called Momentum Infocare, which was acquired by Rico, which was a printing company, and we were there for a couple of years. And then when we started, and we thought of starting another company, yes, we did a lot of research and homework. This was in this 2012 end. So yes, definitely we met our friends in the media and friends in the corporate, and then we reached to the conclusion that cloud is the way forward. And in March 2013, we started Umbrella Infocare. And our first alliance, then we thought how to start. Of course, the AWS was the default choice, and because at the time they were the leaders, and they are still the leaders in their public cloud field. So we tied up with AWS, and a couple of quarters later, we signed with the Citrix for mobility piece. So, and since last 9 years, we are focused, born in cloud company. We call us as, we are still very focused on cloud solutions. So this is the story behind Umbrella Infocare as a company. And in terms of offerings, when we started in 2013, it was of course, very migration was the primary services we were doing from companies migrating from on-prem to AWS, or it could be from co-location data center application to public cloud on AWS. So this initially, of course, there was a lot of challenges. Companies were talking a lot, but they were not deciding because of couple of challenges internally. They did not have the permission to go to cloud public, and there was some in few industries there was a compliance issue, and but slowly it picked up. And then couple of years, like 1 or 2, 3 years passed, and then the companies started migrating from one server to server, and then moved to 20, 40, 50 servers. Then we realized that there is a need of managed services, because once you have moved to cloud, then definitely you need someone who can manage that infrastructure. So we added cloud managed services practice, and this is very strong practice as of now. We have 24/7 support NOC, and we are managing around 80 plus customers in India and a couple of customers outside India. As the things moved forward, definitely did happens in every industry, and IT is no different from that. Customers were moving to cloud. Their application were legacy application. The application were not ready for the cloud to use the best services of the AWS or any other cloud. So we started cloud application development practice in around 2015 and 16, and where initially it was a lift and shift, and then whatever customer was having on-prem, we moved to cloud. But that was not the best way to go to the cloud, because you don't get the automation services, whether scaling of services. So in many cases, we did application modernization also, and then move to the cloud. And then as the things progresses, we all know big data analytics became the requirement, because customers and companies are generating, and they had generated large of data from different sources. So we realized the need and the future in this practice. So we created this pillar also, which we call it big data and analytics. And now we almost more than 2 years have passed, and we have done a couple of very interesting projects around big data analytics for customers in all fields, I will say. And the very latest addition to our offering is security. In security, we do assessment, and then security remediation, and then security automation. So, in nutshell, I will say, and yeah, apart from that, we do we are very elite Citrix partner in India, and then we do remote secure access for application from anywhere and any device. So in nutshell, we do cloud migration, cloud managed services, and cloud application modernization, big data analytics, and cloud security, and application access. These are our offerings. Yes.
Perfect. Thanks. So I will take up some of these offerings and which have gained particular relevance if we look at the last 1.5 years. When out of this pandemic necessity, organizations had to migrate towards cloud. So
Correct.
one is obviously on migration. So from your experience, one I would like to know two, three things. One, was your experience about enterprises migrating towards cloud? The second thing was the major security challenges in terms of employees were connecting working from home. So various heterogeneous devices and networks were coming into the system. So the security vulnerability issue. The third is very interestingly you mentioned about the application development, the cloud application development. So in this pandemic scenario, what were some of these popular applications on cloud that you witnessed? So these are the three areas I would like if you can touch upon them.
Yes. See, when you say in the pandemic, see, our field was in any case very hot, no, migration to cloud, because of the many benefits which we all see in the cloud in terms of no upfront cost, easy deployment, easy rollout, flexibility, all this was there. But definitely, what pandemic helped us in terms of the customers or people who were sitting or not deciding fast, they decided very fast, and they moved to cloud. See, interestingly, if you see all of our services, saw a lot of traction during these the pandemic time, because migration is the first step towards, and all our other offering were rollout or fallout of those migration. Once you have migrated, you need managed services. So those customers who migrated to cloud, they they are taking our managed services. And if you have moved to the cloud, you need definitely security, whether it's a application network or server security. So, and then of course, when you have a data on cloud, and then in last couple of years, if you see the data, though big data analytics is may not be fallout of pandemic, but definitely as you are moving to the cloud, you are centralizing your entire servers, or I will say application in cloud. The data collection has become easier, and rollout of application has become easier, and big data analytics deployment, which was a very I will say very elite thing, or very which were very available to enterprise customers, and though have very large budgets, could do that big data analytics project earlier. So cloud adoption and migrating to cloud helped them to roll out big data analytics in very efficient way and in a shorter period of time. So I will say in our case, pandemic helped us in all area of our business. And Citrix, we all know, is if you are allowing access from anywhere, from any device, uh, Citrix was the solution. So the third point which you said, the security from endpoint. So Citrix was the solution which we saw very huge demand from customers from across the vertical, whether it was a banking, it was manufacturing, it was a retail. Companies opted for remote access through deployment of work app solution from Citrix. And of course, some customers used VPN and all those kind of solutions during this pandemic. But I will say yes, this pandemic, I will say not. It is uh, there were some challenges in accessing from home or any location. So no solution give you 100% security. But yes, these solution helped a lot to those customers. Still, there were cases of data leakage and all that. I
Okay.
hope I have answered all three questions.
Yeah, one part of it is this was more on the technological aspect. If you look at the business aspect of this,
Correct.
now in with many of the customers in pre-pandemic times, uh, there were, as you mentioned, certain deals. You were earlier doing the colo deals or any other arrangements. There were certain sets of SLAs with that. Now, suddenly, this migration towards cloud, increasingly many of them applying analytics also. So, how did that impact those SLAs? Because it was an extraordinary scenario where the dynamics also changed. So, was the impact on those existing SLAs?
See, in any case, see, we were doing only public cloud, so we were not doing co-location. So SLA, there are two part of SLAs. One SLA is driven by infra side, which is AWS. So SLA was given by AWS and managed by AWS. So that was perfectly fine. So there no role as a partner in terms of infra SLA. But yes, as a part of managed services, we were ensuring that no the SLAs are met, which we were doing earlier also before the pandemic. So because we were not affected, our deliveries were not affected because in any case, as a company, we were entirely on cloud. And as we our solutions were around cloud. So as a Umbrella Infocare, we were least affected by sudden closure. So because our solutions were on cloud, our all the employees of Umbrella Infocare were carrying laptops. So from the day one, we were giving them laptops. So there was hardly any impact on that in terms of our services delivery and meeting the SLAs with the customer. So from infra and application and managed services, all three front, we our SLAs were entirely met. So we were ready.
Okay, and coming back to the technology side, another question is: a lot of enterprises now are having um, a typical multi-cloud environment they're working, and you are taking care of their public cloud on AWS environment. So, a typical enterprise scenario would be certain applications will be on AWS, or in some cases, it's on Azure. They will have certain applications on their private cloud. Then even for cloud service providers, there might be multiple clouds. So there is this challenge of managing that multi-cloud scenario. So as a managed service provider where you are handling their public cloud, uh, you also need to work in tandem with lot of other cloud service providers, as well as maybe even applications like Nutanix, which manages those multi-cloud kind of scenario. So how is that experience working with other vendors while helping the enterprises?
See, as of now, as we are very AWS focused organization, so as of now, we have not faced much of challenge in those front. We do only AWS managed services infrastructure, so we are not covering any other public cloud or any other solution like Nutanix, as you mentioned. So, though at times we get inquiries from enterprise customers, do you have a team on Azure also? Mostly, not any other inquiry we have got, but yes, Azure and other cloud we got the inquiries, and as till now, customers are okay if we have expertise on AWS, because there will be very few service providers who have this level of expertise on all the platforms. So going forward, yes, there may be a requirement of managed services partner like us to have expertise on more than one cloud solution expertise. But as of now, we have not seen much of challenge on this front, and we are happily serving to our customers for managed services. But yes, as the adoption is increasing in enterprise, as you rightly mentioned, and so traditionally AWS till now we are very strong in technology companies, whether it's a digital native company, internet company, fintech, edutech, all media and entertainment, gaming. We are very strong and we are serving them. Yes, we have good number of customers on enterprise. As of now, no such is a roadblocker for entering into that account and providing services, as we are not doing any other public platform. Future, we don't know how things will take place, and whether we will be forced to add couple of more service providers.
Okay, I'll come to these vertical things later.
Sure.
Now, what I would like to understand, since you are a your managed services is provided primarily on AWS platform. One, I would like to understand more in detail about Umbrella's your relationship with AWS. That, and also as you mentioned, as an application provider. So, what sort of applications and what sort of functionalities are these common applications which are popular on the AWS cloud, which you offer for your customers?
See, it's a all. See, when a customer plans to go to AWS, of course, if we have there are customers who have 5 applications, there are customers who have more than 100 applications, and then they definitely do planning, sitting with us, how they will be migrating to cloud, in which manner, and what will be the phase, what will be the speed. So if you see the breadth and length of applications, definitely customers, when they make a migration journey, cloud migration journey, they start with the small workloads and they increase slowly in terms of complexity and size of the servers which they would like to take to the. If I can easily take a customer which is a referenceable customer, that is why I'm taking the name. It's a Panasonic, where we are doing for last couple of years, and then we are migrating their number of applications and cloud. This could be from on-prem to AWS, this could be from another data center to AWS, or this could be from one public cloud to another AWS. So of course, no, every month we are migrating one or two application. So the type of application, if we say, it could be a business application which is very specific to that vertical. It could be CRM, it could be their home built application for the reward, and it could be support application, it could be web application, mobile application. All sort of applications are moving to the cloud. And of course, when we talk about most important, which everybody is talking about, is ERP. So we have done migration for SAP and other ERPs as well. So when we talk about the what sort of workloads corporates are moving, they are all sort of workloads are going to the cloud, and we are doing for our customers all those applications. And when we talk about application building part, which you ask question, so of course it is. It could be web application, but it's not a website, but application which is on the web. It's a business application we do primarily, or mobile business application we are doing for customers.
Okay, in this typical
This is
scenario
our
that
area
you
of
give
business.
the example of Panasonic also, and you talked about, what are the main challenges you are facing when one is migrating from one public platform to the other, or in cases of someone working with other public cloud or any other cloud platform migrating to the is in a US scenario, what are the main challenges you see enterprises facing? And also, more pandemic specific, the pattern of workloads have also changed for many organizations. So, as a result of that, what are these main challenges that you see enterprises facing?
The challenge is first, the major challenge is I will say mindset. So when they migrate from one cloud, so there is a fear of downtime, or fear of it may take longer, the performance will from one service provider to another service provider, if they move, how it will perform. So to address that, we do small test, we do proof of concept from their existing workload on AWS, and once the customer is satisfied, yes, what they are lacking in, see, anybody, if we are moving from one cloud to another cloud, definitely they must be facing some challenge. So we, what as a Umbrella Infocare, we give them full satisfaction. Yes, if you are facing that challenge, let us see how we address your this problem or challenge on AWS public cloud. So we do proof of concept for that application for a small workload, and once the customer is satisfied, we make a very detailed migration plan and then move to that workload. So the challenges, it could be like, no, it could be like sizing. When we do the POC, it is done for a small setup. When you are going live, definitely things are slightly different. Then in terms of right sizing, in terms of licensing, which major challenge we see when you are migrating, you are upgrading the application, and then operating system, all other licensing part has to be very well mapped. There should not be a gap. And third is time. Customer, of course, they don't have much time, and they are very running very tight on time schedule. So that also challenge at times we face when there is some um, normal business migration issues. Things get slightly delayed, but that's part of business, so customer also appreciates that. Rest, we see very little challenge in migration.
Okay, thank you. So earlier you touched upon, I'm coming to the verticals where you are getting maximum traction. One, you
Correct.
mentioned those sort of the born in the cloud companies, enterprises themselves, primarily the companies whose B2B model is based on the internet. That was one. Gaming companies you mentioned. So one, those main verticals that you mentioned, if you can mention certain marquee customers there. Apart from that, within enterprises, which are the verticals where you already seen some traction and where you are planning to make further inroads?
See, these verticals, we have very currently what we are seeing traction is, it is of course internet companies, e-commerce companies, and when we talk about technology, it is fintech, edutech, and gaming. So these are the, we are seeing very large traction in last more than a year now, and we have very good customer base around these three four areas. Of course, entertainment is also part of that. Media and entertainment is one, and enterprise vertical, if we talk about, we have good penetration in manufacturing, and of course enterprise is median also have vertical also have enterprise size of customers, and there are a few large services also. I cannot take the name because of our confidentiality clause, but wherever we have reference case studies, we can take the name. So the customers could be it could be in aviation sector, but customer could be in media and entertainment, it could be in manufacturing. So these are the areas. Aviation, we are trying because we see huge upside in next couple of quarters.
Okay. And specifically business-wise, what is the sort of go-to-market strategy that you follow to reach out to the customers?
See, go to market is very simple, which is for all our kind of B2B organization. Like we identify the segment verticals, the vertical we need to focus. So that we discussed is we have identified that vertical. Then we identify the what size of customers we want to focus, and then we prepare that detail. We plan with our marketing team, and then we take the route of there are multiple route of going to these people, especially in those pandemic when you cannot do more face to face or a seminar kind of thing. So then the dependency on social media and webinars and then blogs and website has increased quite a lot. So we do a lot of webinars. We are very active on social media. We are doing a lot of work on inbound lead generation, and we are very soon we will you will be seeing our version 2.0 website, Umbrella Infocare, where we have done a lot of work for SEO and rewriting the entire content based on our current offering and our business plan for next 2 years time. So yes, we are very aggressive on reaching to our targeted customers through all those telecalling, webinars, social media, and with the area where we want to work most.
Uh, Typically, if we look at the scenario right now and what is likely to happen in the foreseeable future is there would be a hybrid work model to stay. It looks likely. So maybe some part of the functions offices will start operating, but again it will be not fully like what used to be earlier. So in that typical scenario, and what do you see the enterprises in terms of their workloads emerging? Will there be more and more migration completely towards cloud, or will certain on-prem remain? And what is that likely model that is going to emerge, and what will be Umbrella's role there?
See, our role. See, first of all, I will address what is the likely outcome of due to this pandemic. See, hybrid is definitely is the future. So nobody can say that 100% or 90% workload are going to move to the clouds. It has to be hybrid model. So yes, due to pandemic, there might be slightly more movement to the cloud as we used to think in 2019 or early 2020. Say earlier, if we were thinking of say 50-60% will move to cloud and balance will remain on-prem. Now we can say 60-70% will move to the cloud, 30-40% will remain on-prem. So that is the our take on that. So yes, whether the people are working from home or from office, this is going to be the as per our thinking with the ratio. And the reason is very simple because there are so many type of workloads which customer don't want to take to the cloud. It could be due to some compliance issue. It could be some management thinking in that direction that it's better. And there could be cases where the type of application is such it is more suited to on-prem because of the kind of workload that it is. So as far as the Umbrella Infocare is concerned, we are a cloud company, and yes, there are going to be solutions from AWS also which supports hybrid model, and we will be working on that also.
From an Infocare perspective, if you can brief about what sort of infrastructure do you have? Infrastructure, I mean, both the physical infrastructure as well as in terms of manpower resources. How are you structured?
See, infrastructure, you say, physical infrastructure, so office and all that.
Office
Yeah.
and knock you mentioned earlier, as well as manpower, both the things I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
So yeah, office, we have office in Noida, which is office which is a capacity of 130 people, and we have an office in Mumbai. And in last 6 months during the pandemic, if I say during the pandemic, we have added around 80 people from March 20 to now we are in September 21, and currently we have 185 plus people in Umbrella Infocare. And in terms of knock and all that, everything, all solutions, and then calling, we are using all cloud solutions. There is nothing, no infrastructure on our on-prem. So we don't have any infrastructure on-prem, and people are the support team is logging through VPN tunnel from their respective places, and it's very secure. They log into the AWS cloud. From there, they log into the customer site. So that is, and then when we talk about the infrastructure, we call tools as infrastructure. So we have taken most of the I will say SaaS model tools, whether it's a call logging, calling, monitoring, ticketing, CRM, or we have at least 10 plus tools we are using to help serve our customers. They are all on cloud and on the SaaS model.
So how do you see the enterprises adopting more a software-defined kind of model? It can be for software-defined servers, storage, or even a software-defined data center per se. How do you see that shift happening?
See, this is happening. This is happening, and then more and more when we talk about the cloud, it is very easy to do serverless computing, and then all those in that direction only. Earlier, we were doing using server virtualization. Now we are talking about serverless. So, and Umbrella as a company has a good practice around that, and we have done multiple projects around that.
Okay, and if I may look again from an umbrella perspective at the next 3 4 quarters, so what are going to be your key focus areas? That can be in terms of new solutions, new features, or new business or new expansion. But what are going to be some of the key focus areas for you?
See, our focus is has always been like increase the our technical strength and give the customers best of the services or solutions to meet to expand their business. So currently, as we are AWS Premier Consulting Partner, Citrix Platinum Plus Solution Advisor, and apart from that, we have 5 expertise of specialty on AWS, which is very, I will say, put Umbrella in a very elite group of companies, which I will say mainly is we are AWS Managed Services Partner, which is MSP. We are Migration Competency Partner, Windows Competency Partner, DevOps Competency Partner, WAR, Windows Delivery Program Member. So, and then our plan for next 6 to 9 months is to achieve big data analytics competency and security competency. So, big data we are already doing, and as I said, in next 12 months time, we want to become a very serious player in cloud security. And this is from technology perspective, and of course, add 100 plus people in next 18 till in say by in next 12 months time. As I said, we are 185 plus people to make it to 300 people company, and mainly there will be 70-80% addition will be in technical team. This is from technical and our delivery perspective. And then we talk about the geographical expansion. We have a very we have built a good team in last 6 month time to expand our international business. So our aim is in next 12 months time we should get substantial revenue, services revenue from our international market.
Okay, and just one, you earlier also mentioned about the analytics and that competency also you are gaining. So, my question is in terms of how enterprises and organizations are really deriving insights, meaningful insights, because otherwise just analytics for analytics sake doesn't make any. So, how are these meaningful insights? Because again, the data sources are very heterogeneous and different. So, how successfully that initial standardization of data is being made so that proper analytics can be done and meaningful insights derived? How are enterprises doing that?
So that enterprises cannot do. That is the job of a company like Umbrella Infocare. We help organizations, whether it's a manufacturing, like one a large cement manufacturer in India. We help them in pulling the data from various sources, whether it could be SAP or the CRM or some production application or website, and we help them to take the real time decision making and reducing the logistics cost. So whether it's a purchase, whether it's a production, whether it's a dispatch, and they get the real time information from all the sources. We pull the data, and then make a data lake kind of thing, and then we do the visualization part where the all stakeholders can see the real time data, and definitely it is helping. Another solution we have done for one large gaming company, where they were customizing the offering for their users based on their behavior of gaming pattern. So earlier they used to take at least 7 days to but because the data size was humongous. So the 7 days data mining or 5 days data mining, we reduced that to 1 day or less than that, using all that cloud technologies or services. And now the decision making is much faster, where they can offer to their customer very customized solutions or services. So yes, it is helping very much across the vertical. And we
Thank
are
you.
sorry,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are not
yeah. You are continuing.
vertical specific solution, whether it comes to big data analytics. We have offering which because we have done projects for all. We are doing a project for large telecom company in outside India. We have done projects for big data analytics projects for retail, because this is the one area where we see, as you asked me, the focus area. Of course, security is the uh, where we are building the competency. Big data analytics is the area where already we have a large team serving to across the vertical and helping them to use the data in more meaningful way, manner.
Thanks.
Thank
Yes,
you.
got it.
My pleasure. Nice talking to you. Thank you very much.